Alright, here's a short PSA before we start this video. Do not go looking for Elder Scrolls 6 in news on Google. You're gonna get a bunch of crap right now, just people reiterating the same information and talking about things that are definitely not confirmed. And at least when I do it, I have the decency to say so. And I try to at least, have a different sort of topic when I'm doing these videos. So here's one right now. Alright, first of all, let's go over some information that might be useful for this topic. We know that Xbox is indeed releasing a new console next year, the Scorpio Project Scorpio, who really cares? And I guess that one is a legitimately new console, not like the Xbox One S, which is kind of just a small upgrade to their existing one. So the possibility is that they're waiting for a new 4K ready console to come out before they start work on the Elder Scrolls 6. That would make sense as well, because when games are released right when a new generation does release, they usually can't capitalize on the limits of the hardware right away. So if that were to happen, it would make sense because we'd get a way better looking product and a better performing product out of the gate. Now, of course, we know that it's not only going to be on Xbox. One would assume that around the same time the new Xbox was released, there would be another PlayStation as well. However, full confirmation on that isn't really available right now. There's also the idea that it's going to be on PC. I mean, of course it's going to be on PC. There's not really anything to deny that. Of course, that's where their biggest modding scene is, and probably where they see the majority of their success. So we know that there are probably going to be a few new consoles coming out. We know that there's one confirmed, but there's another thing that Bethesda seems to be really jazzed up about right now, and that is the inclusion of VR in their games. Now, as we know, VR gaming is a very new trend, a lot of those things just coming out this year, and while they do offer a very immersive experience, they're definitely not up to snuff yet for a lot of AAA titles. In fact, the biggest problem they're having right now is figuring out how you move around in first person, because there is the possibility of most people getting motion sick when they're using an analog stick. It really does kind of throw your equilibrium off. And we know that in recent interviews, Todd Howard said that they haven't really begun work on the next Elder Scrolls yet. They have some basic concept arts down, and they're definitely talking about it, but it's not really on the table for a very early release date coming up anytime soon. So one has to wonder if this technology that they've also stated that they are waiting for is the possibility of it being a VR-centered game. However, we don't really know if VR is going to be that popular in the next even 5 years, if it's going to burst out of the very small market it has right now. And again, that issue with moving around in first person is something that definitely needs to be addressed, and it's going to be interesting to see how they sort that out. It is worth noting, though, that Bethesda is very keen on VR. They are obviously gearing up for the release of VR support for Skyrim. As to how they have solved this motion issue, they haven't really stated yet. It may be a case of you having to teleport around the world, which in my opinion would make kind of a subpar gaming experience. However, maybe being in that first person and being able to look around could kind of subvert some of those feelings if I ever tried it. There's also the possibility that they just want to wait until they can make the entire continent of Tamriel and even have it possibly be a ever-growing game rather than just be a one-off release. It would be really cool if they could release, say, a game that included Skyrim and Cyrodiil, and then a year down the line, they didn't have to rely on updates in hardware so much, so they could just release, say, 2 more provinces in the world. Kind of like a pseudo single-player MMO style thing. However, that is all speculation, like I said, so let me know what you think about any of that. If you have any other ideas, leave them in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Give this video a like if you haven't already. I would super appreciate it. I am PattyJack, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.